Hello fellow scrappers, welcome to the Scrap Shop. I'm your host, 39 Spine, and today's video is oops. So on this channel, if we screw up, we're going to show you, because it's as much about what not to do as it is to what to do. And if I make a mistake, I'm willing to own up to it. So I've been absent for a while on this platform, simply because I've had a lot of things going on and I have not been able to get out here and actually do anything. I've been collecting stuff. The place is an absolute disaster. I've spent most of the day just trying to get things cleaned up and sorted out so we can actually get back to doing some scrapping. That being said, this video is going to concern the copper cell and copper purification cell. If you've watched any of the copper purification cell videos, you'll see how that works. If you haven't watched them, I invite you to go back and see them. It actually works rather well. That is, if you pay attention to what you're doing. So I'm going to guess it's been a couple of months. I shut the copper cells off. I knew I wasn't going to be able to get out here to deal with them. I just turned off the power and let them sit. That was a mistake. So I'm going to show you what I got back to. I was going to drain them, clean them, harvest the copper, and kind of put them away for a little while. Part of the reason is I don't have any copper that's ready to go in them. This spring, when it warms up, we're going to go ahead and melt some copper shot, and I'll show you that when we do that. And I'm going to use copper shot in the baskets. I think it's going to work better with copper shot, just because there's more surface area for the copper sulfate to attack, so to speak. Anyway, that's plans for the future. What I got into today was not pretty, and I've already cleaned everything up, but I do have the remnants to show you. Now, first of all, if you've watched my previous videos, you're going to know that to fill up these 4 cells takes a little over 3 gallons of fluid. When I drained these things this morning, there's not a gallon between all 4 of them. And I'm going to show you what we've got going on here. So for starters, this is the fluid that I drained out of the 4 cells. And the 2 that normally sit on this side of the bench, that was the fluid that came out, that nice blue copper sulfate that we're used to seeing. The 2 that sat down at that end of the shelf, yeah, it's pretty nasty. And to kind of give you an idea, all this copper is going to have to be rerun, because that's what we ended up with. And you know, you look at the backside, yeah, it's nice pure copper there. But this side, yeah. And there's actually 2 of them that are stuck together here now. But, yeah. That whole batch is ruined. And there is a pile of copper there. There is. I have my scale on here. What do we got? 8 pounds, 10 ounces. 21 pounds, 5 ounces, so call it 9 and 21. 12 pounds of copper in that bucket. Oops. Finger over the top. The camera doesn't work well. So, yeah, 12 pounds of copper that we just basically get to start all over with again. And then, I'll show you the pans, and I've cleaned these all up. And I don't know if you can see. Maybe I can zoom in a little. Nope. See, there's, yeah, almost had it. But you can see, there we go. You can see there's kind of some pitting in here. So
The two that the blue fluid came out of didn't have that pitting on them. It's just these other two that had the pitting.
So it's a short video because there's not a lot to see, but I wanted to tell you what happened. Apparently, and I did some Googling, wanting to know, why did my blue copper sulfate turn green? And one of the reasons that copper sulfate will turn green is the attachment of iron turning it into iron sulfate instead of copper sulfate. My guess is, oh, and then I double checked it, stainless steel is affected by it. My guess is that when the reaction had stopped, it quit moving the copper molecules it was supposed to be moving and went ahead and attacked the stainless steel containers. Now, I don't really feel that there's an issue with the containers. I mean, it just started pitting a little bit, and I think that's fine. But when I start these cells back up, it's going to be all new fluid. And like I said, I got all the dog bowls cleaned up, so they're ready to go again when I get the copper shop melted. But yeah, long story short, don't let your copper cells sit unattended. If you're going to let them be parked for any period of time, and by that, I mean, I usually clean these out every other week. And I've never had an issue with anything doing it that way. Don't let them sit for a couple of months because it kind of leads to disaster. So there's your tip for the day. Maintain your copper cells, and when you're not using them, clean them out. So that's all I got for you today. I'm trying to get some copper pipe flattened out here for storage purposes, and I think I've got a whole bunch of alternators and starters I got to tear down. I have a new toy here in the shop, and we're going to try a little experiment on starter armatures. I got to get a couple things to do it with. And then we're going to see how that one works out. We'll do that on camera, and if it works, it works, and if it don't, well, we screwed up again, but we'll admit it when we do it. We are going to go ahead and, because I haven't posted many videos as of late, and I really do need to do some work here as far as cleaning up, and I got, like I said, a bunch of alternators I got to do. We're going to do an alternator in the next video, start to finish, the entire thing. I know I've done some alternator teardowns on this before and kind of gave you an idea, but we're going to take one alternator, we're going to weigh it out like we do, and we're going to start from the beginning, walk you through every bit of tearing it apart, showing you what's in them, what's valuable, what's not, and then get end weights on everything and values, and check and see, whether it's worth it. For me, all the copper is worth it. I just got to look in the other day here on eBay. Copper ingots are actually selling now for $20 a pound on eBay. So if you are selling copper ingots, or you're interested in melting them down, the salvage yard, I went there the other day. I had to get some quick cash, so I took a little bit of clean copper in there. I got $4 a pound for it, which my scrapyard guy does like me, but he don't like me that much. So I'm assuming it's about $3.60 a pound otherwise. So yeah, copper is really up there in value right now, and I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to keep climbing. I've got some things that are coming in the future. I've finally figured out how to get my 3D printer to print in such a manner that I think my what do you call them? My brain just got stuck. The things that you, when you cast something, the molds, what I want to make. Anyway, I'm having a tough time today. Still frustrated over the copper cell, I guess. But I finally got that going properly, so I'm going to be able to make some molds that will actually probably, we can do some sand casting this summer coming up. And so we're going to be probably doing a whole lot of melting this summer to try to get some ingots made, and I've got a special project plan that I want to do for a couple of guys, and so we'll be walking through that. One of the videos I'm going to do is a how to get started in the, I'm going to call it smelting, and I know that's probably not the proper term because smelting is with ore, not actual metal, but there's a lot of things that I wish I'd have known getting into it that kind of have gotten my feet pretty wet on that project. And there's a lot of videos on YouTube that show you how to do it, but not a lot of them will explain to you all the little ins and outs and intricacies and what to look for and what to do and what not to do more importantly. And we'll get into those in those videos coming up. So, but yeah, like I said, the next video, I'm pretty sure here we're going to be doing an alternator top to bottom, and that will probably be coming out in a week or so here. So, in the meantime, if you would kindly like, subscribe, share, all them little buttons over there, just punch them all. It's free to punch them. So, yeah, and don't do what I did. No. Till I see you the next time, happy scrapping, everybody.